Okay, now we know. We can remember. Well, my name. That password, yeah, your email, that password. Okay, so we can minimize that. Oh, let's see, we need first. So what? Muted. So. Okay. We're good. It's muted. Yeah. That bigger.
But that is amazing that is so bad.
I really want. The record button down at the bottom. Got that circle, the third icon on the right. Other, right. Back in. So when you're ready to record, click on it. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Right, yeah. Executive session. Go to the process again. Okay, yeah. You're braver woman than I am. I'll tell you, this technology is just. Yeah, for the few viewers we have, I don't know why we have to do so much. Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Yeah, the concern is Zoom bot. Yeah, so you put it on YouTube, you can't, all you do is watch, you can't comment, you can't do anything, you only invited people to the Zoom. But then the problem is, like we had last meeting, and this meeting, so we move into executive session.
Yes.
You either have to stop the live stream, go through that process again and restart it, assuming people are still watching. Or like Stevenson does, start a whole separate third Teams meeting for the executive session, which I do not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like you got some improvement on your face.
What's that?
So it looks like you have some.
Oh, yeah, it's coming back slowly. Yeah, I think by the end of the week, we should be good. It's a lot better than it was 2 weeks ago.
And kudos to you for continuing, going in public and all of that. I mean, a lot of us would be like, okay, I'll come out when
Yeah.
I look better. All you gotta do is wear glasses and a COVID mask.
Yeah.
And you're fine.
It wasn't too bad. So if I talk slow and monotone, I'll get worked up. As soon as I start smiling or any exaggeration, it gets bad, and then I start drooling, and it's a whole mess. Yeah.
How are you? Hi, just like everybody else.
No, it's not too
But
bad.
it's not,
It's nice in here.
but it's not humid.
That
That
is-
humid day last week was, whoa, I know that's Washington DC, man. As I went to Nisha was sitting in the car and she was just like, yeah, you can feel it, can't you? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's what's called humidity. Yeah, yeah.
When you take a shower and you're already sweating before you even get out, yeah.
Yeah, Washington DC was just like, there was. like,
Anywhere on the East
point.
Coast,
There was
yeah.
no point.
Anywhere on the East Coast. I have no desire to live over there.
I know, what is wrong with fire? But I do want fire, I wanna see fireflies again, that's the only thing I want, that's the only thing.
I've never seen them in person, so I don't know what I'm missing.
Oh, they're kind of cool, you just clearly just don't. Yeah, they're cool. Little back there.
Oh. Ready, started.
Chair.
Yeah, you were you.
I like it when they.
Alright. Alright, we'll open the work session.
Oh.
Alright,
I got it, yeah.
Go ahead, record.
alright, we are starting the work session at like 6:32 PM on August 11th, 2025. The water rate discussion.
All right, Trilogy LLC has completed the rate analysis for the city's water distribution system. They have determined that we are over collecting on debt service for the system improvement, but under collecting on rates to operate the system. A work session was held on July 14th. Council requested additional information and further discussion. Attached are breakdowns of the 3 rate change options that are proposing for the typical residential customer. The rate changes have been updated to even increases each year. The effects of a total year sales has been added with deltas. A question has come up regarding council's ability to increase the meter base fee without violating the 2008 charter amendment. I asked our attorney and he provided the below response. That is an excellent question that could be discussed at ad infinitum. Past councils have interpreted the charter provision requiring a vote as exempting rates because rates are not specifically enumerated in the charter amendment. The council is the body that has authority to interpret the charter, and such interpretation will be held up in courts unless the interpretation is clearly afoul of the plain language of the charter. Ordinance chapter 52 provides that rates for the use of or consumption of water or the provision of any service related thereto shall be set by resolution of the council. Ordinance 52.36, this makes things difficult. It could be read that is, this applies directly to use or consumption, which implies that it's based on the amount of water passing through the meter. It could also be read that a base rate is directly tied to such use or consumption. I think the former is the most obvious and defendable position, however, the latter interpretation is also plausible. Calculations for average on the next page, calculations for the average customer of a 5/8 inch line in all 3 scenarios, the meter maintenance and fire flow fees stay the same. Option 1, cut debt service fee by 44% to the amount needed to cover annual payment and raise water usage rate by 49%, $1.22 per 1,000 gallons, and meter base fee by 33.7%, $3.20 to increase operating revenue. The rate and fee increase will be in 1 single year. However, the average customer will see a negligible increase in their water bill. Option 2, a partial cut, 21.65% to the debt service fee that will still allow the city to collect more than the amount needed to cover the annual payment and save the city $298,500 in interest. Water rates and fees will increase over 2 years. The water usage rate will increase 62.5 cents each year for 2 years for a total of 50%, $1.25. The meter base fee will increase $1.65 each year for 2 years for a total increase of 35% to $3.30. Option 3, no change to the debt service fee that will allow the city to pay off the debt sooner and save the city $470,000 in interest payments. Water rates and fees will increase over a 3-year period. The water usage rate will increase 46 cents each year. The total increase over the 3 years will be 55%, $1.38. The meter base fee will increase $1.23 each year for a total increase of 39%, $3.69. Residential water sales from August 2024 through July 2025, 1,000 gallons equals 1 unit. Total units sold, 57,735. Total billed amount, $144,337.50. You will see a breakdown of current versus option 1, option 2, option 3 over the next 3 years. The biggest takeaway is those first 2 deltas down at the bottom of the increase. If you compare current to option 1, it's an additional $211,000 over the 3 years. Option 2 is 180, option 3 is 159,000. And then with that same scenario, so that is off actual water rate. There's the last page is the meter based fee, and that same breakdown of the 3-year totals of option 1, 2, and 3 are 69,000, 59,000, and 53,000.
Sorry, can you say it last second? Can you say that again?
Yeah, so these two pages, these breakdowns,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, are comparing current versus options 1, 2, and 3 for both the actual water use rate and the meter base fee for years 1, 2, and 3, and then combining all 3 years. And then the back page on tiny print, because I couldn't figure out how to get it any bigger, is the actual breakdown of rate increases over all years. So I know it's a little bit to digest, but
What's the difference between these two? Sorry, I'm jumping all over you. Six, I think
Out of your hand, okay?
I know.
Tell myself, I mean, come on.
One's a water sale and one's a water meter.
yeah, so the one that says residential water sales from August,
Thank you.
yeah, so this one's an actual water consumption. And the other one is meter based fee.
These are all the charges that we have, except for, I do wanna say, yeah, I better where's my. Yeah, the erosion control is missing on the front page. You've got everything else,
Oh,
but erosion
yeah.
control is missing, and then on these very tiny, where I can't hardly read.
Yeah, I did it bigger and then Adobe like rotates it to where everything's portrait and I don't.
The usage on year one, option 2. You have $3.46. Yeah, put your glass, put your, and then on the original page, you have $3.13. So you have $3.13 here,
Oh,
we've got $3.46 on there. So they're not exactly the same.
oh, I see, yeah. I can go back and double check that math.
I'm assuming it's $3.13 is what we're looking,
Correct.
not $3.46 on the small page.
Correct, yes. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Tiffany?
So, why do the water usage rate per thousand don't, and why are they different for each option? Why aren't they just the same?
What do you mean? It's not.
Well, I mean, like you got for option 1, it's gonna be $3.72 per thousand. Option 2, it's $3.13 per thousand, and option 3, it's $2.96 per thousand. I mean.
So that's based on the speed of the rate increase.
Okay, but why are they, if we're gonna do a rate increase, why does it change between the options? Why isn't it all just $3.72 or $3.13 or?
Well, so for option 1, it's a bigger increase it's a one and done and we'll collect more money over the 3 years. Option 2 and 3, it's a smaller increase, we'll collect less money over those 3 years. So the end result is a slightly higher rate to make up for what was missed in years 1 and 2.
But I think if I understood your question, you're asking why don't we just make the change all in 1 year?
No,
Is
I
that
mean,
what you're saying?
if we're gonna raise the rate to $3.72 under option 1, why aren't we raising the rate to $3.72 for option 2 and $3.72 for option 3? I mean, why the different? Why the different rates? I
Because
mean,
we bring in less money in years 1 and 2, so the end result to catch up is higher in year 2 and 3.
Yeah, I guess, I get that, I don't think you're understanding my question.
I don't think I am.
Why,
It was to do a slower increase to, I think, help the community be. For those that are set up on the set income and stuff, that it wasn't all at once, I believe. Has been prior discussion.
Okay.
But
But it goes back to what the decision for the debt service fee is. If we were gonna keep that level the same and not change it, the burden to the residents would be easier if it was a slower increase. Whereas if it was essentially trade in option 1, we cut the debt service, increased the usage fee, and the meter base fee, and it came out even. Whereas in option 2 and 3, it does not.
you're good.
yeah,
Anyone else have any comments or questions?
Man, I thought you had.
I did, but I changed my mind.
and the water meter, okay, so how much does a water meter cost?
couple $100, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head.
So for those of us that have been paying. Whatever it's been. Water, the meter base, is that what the meter base fee is?
$9.50.
Yeah, to pay for, yeah, the.
So
the
now
replacement
so we've
meters,
been paying about $10 a month for,
however long.
yeah, however long, so I paid for, I mean. I don't know how many hundreds I paid for, and it's not ever been replaced. Are we in a deficit because of the meter base fee not being raised?
Not that one particularly, it's really across the board for the entire operating. I mean, I can't. Assign it to one fee.
Yeah.
So.
See that? But it kind of gets to the point that Sherelle made during the budget meeting that we should be actually having a plan for meter replacement. And so if I understand the way we collect the fee, and yeah, like to your point, you know, just pay for it a couple times over, but you've never had your meter replaced, which potentially could mean that we're either under billing or. Yeah, really, we could be under billing if things aren't, if things aren't.
I mean, I paid,
Correct, yeah.
I suppose we could overbreathe.
Yeah, that meter replacement plan that I've seen never been in place, so.
We replace meters when they break.
Correct, yes.
That's what we do.
And by break, that means
They
they.
quit working, they don't record the water, they stop recording, some of them record backwards. You know, and those are the ones that we replace. If the water keeps going through them, we let them go.
Yep.
We only replace the ones that broke.
Right, but we're learning now that we have could have a possible 50% water loss, which they just got done fixing a big leak on Wheeler this past week. And some of that could be related to having old meters that are not working correctly anymore, because most of our meters are over 15 years old, is that correct?
Yeah, on average, yeah.
Okay.
so is this money, is the water meter, the meter base fee, is that kept in a separate little?
It is not, no.
See, because I mean, if somebody's lived here for 20 years. Yeah, somebody's lived here for 20 years, we've paid $10 a month for 20 years, I've paid $24,000 for a water meter that's never been replaced. And that money's gone somewhere, and now you're asking me to increase it. And plus the issue of the charter, the fee increase thing, I have a little bit of an issue with that.
Yeah.
I thought we had an account just for water meter base fees.
Yeah,
I know we have
that's the
meter maintenance fee, but the meter base fee goes into the revenue of water usage then?
Yes, it does, yep.
Ooh.
Yep, I double checked that myself, I went, wait a minute.
I knew we have a meter maintenance fee.
Yeah, no, so the water usage fee and the meter maintenance fee both go into the water sales revenue. Yeah, as part of our operating cost.
Go ahead, did it be separate? Did it be separate? I mean.
I don't think it needs to be.
Having it separate, you know how much meter base fee you got left, obviously, so that's an option.
So basically, it's not a really meter base fee, it's really a usage fee.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
No.
now that I'm kind of thinking it through to answer your question, the meter maintenance fee is more of the one that is the separate one that goes into the actual replacement of the meters. Meter base fee gets absorbed right into operating costs.
okay, so that doesn't pay for replacement.
That's more of the meter main.
Meter maintenance fee replaces it, and that's in a separate
Yeah,
account.
I was wrong.
88 cents is not much.
Yeah,
So the base fee is just really just our connection.
it's essentially like the same base fee we have for sewer. It's part of your usage rate.
We have one for electric too, don't we?
Yes, we do.
This is just, so it's the privilege of being hooked up to the system and having it, whether you use it or not,
Yeah.
that's the minimum of it.
Yeah.
Correct.
You wanted to add the, I don't know. I don't know. Cause you didn't want to.
So basically you're asking for option 1, 2, or 3?
Well, going back to 2 weeks ago, there wasn't really great consensus on how to move forward. It's kind of all over the place. But the most common answer or path was a option 1 in the debt reduction down to what we need to collect to pay our annual fee, and then a slow increase of the usage and meter-based fee, option 3. So a combination of option 1 and option 3 was the most common selection, but everybody was kind of all over the board. And I know, Counselor Seeger had asked for kind of comparison of year over year total comparison.
So do we have enough money in the meter maintenance fee to replace meters? If that is the sole reason that we are leaking, or the water is leaking, and we don't have enough money, then wouldn't that be the one to increase? Is the meter
Correct,
maintenance
yes,
fee,
yeah,
not the meter base fee?
correct. Yeah, I am applying, as I put in my report, I'm applying for a grant to do a leak detection and analysis to really see if it is our meters. Is it a leak in the pipes?
What is it?
Yeah. Whether there's enough in the maintenance fee to actually cover a full replacement, I couldn't tell you. I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, I can look it up, but.
I did.
Okay.
88 cents a month, so, time. And how much you saying a meter was?
Just a little over $200, maybe $300
Yeah,
now.
I'd say probably 300, yeah.
Net
right
by now.
So
Yeah,
it's like 1056 a year we're collecting on that.
yeah.
So it seems like we're not collecting enough on the meter base fee to actually replace that. And what
Probably.
lights are on the base?
Maintenance fee.
Yeah, I was-
15 years is what I'm hearing, just about 15 years.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I looked it up. I don't know the exact date.
Can we ask about that? If we're supposed to be replacing them every 15 years, it doesn't seem like we're collecting enough of the meter maintenance fee to even pay for the parts, much less the labor density.
And that's the thing too, cause it's not just the price of the meter, it's the labor that it takes to do that as well.
When you find out, I think that was a good point that Mary Ann brought up, like, why aren't we seeing the meter maintenance fee go up if we are under collecting on that?
We can look into it, yeah. Easy enough to do. But again, that goes back to the fee question now, so whether. Council wants to take that plunge and increase it or put
So,
it to a vote.
yeah, so I asked because I went through and read our charter and our ordinance, and it talks about fees. And we're looking at bumping that up to $1, an even dollar. And we're also looking at asking the citizens about this tax for food and beverage for our fire and EMS. As we're talking to them about City Hall and what did we wanna do to replace it, so we sound like we've got a lot of money, but yet we're begging for money. So I don't know, so I asked city administrator, like, why did we wanna bump this up to just $1? Well, we just wanna poke the bear to see, because we know what this says about fees, but we wanna poke the bear and see what happens. Well, I don't think necessarily poking the bear right before you're trying to get something passed.
Yeah.
On a November ballot is very transparent and honest to the people, but that's just my feel. Go ahead, Pete.
What's the dollar fee?
They're talking about raising the
And Councilor Seeger brought up the idea
water
last
maintenance fee.
meeting of the 88 cents increasing to an even dollar.
An even
Oh,
dollar.
okay,
Meter maintenance
thank you.
fee.
And that would just be to poke the bear.
No,
That's what I'm assuming.
Well,
I honestly don't know.
Well, okay, but that doesn't apply to the water gate, the.
not the water,
meter
no,
base.
not.
Again, that's how, according to Attorney Cleveland, that's how council interprets that meter-based fee. Is that an actual fee, or is that part of actually the water usage? As he stated, it could be interpreted either way.
So I've read these
Go ahead.
two quotes. I don't know, I don't know, anybody else had a hard time understanding the
I did.
legalese, like, I've read it so many times, is there anybody can explain this to, way to. Maybe you understood it, like, I don't understand what he's trying to communicate.
He's stating that because the water, the meter base fee is because we're using. That uses this because it's the device that gets the water to the property, we can interpret it that it doesn't apply to that.
It's not consumption.
It is, well, it is consumption, we are consuming.
Yeah, it's
water.
part of
We don't
the-
have a water meter, we don't get water.
Yeah, it's part of delivering water to the customer, so it could be part of the consumption. But because it says the word fee in it, the more defensible spot, if we increase that somebody sues us. I mean, the more defensible spot is we just don't do it because it has the word fee in it. So it's how you interpret what a meter base is. Is it an actual fee you impose on the customer or part of the consumption rate?
So can we just drop the word fee?
So the other option, if we decided to take the safe route and not adjust any fees, would be just to change the rate.
Correct, the usage
Correct.
rate, yeah, but that would result in a anywhere from a loss of $53,000 to $69,000 in revenue over the next 3 years.
Well, would we just increase the water usage rate? To make that up?
We could, yeah,
And if we don't increase the major base fee, I mean, which was, I think, one of the discussions that Bernard brought up, trying to encourage conservation was to increase the usage rate, but keep the base fee.
correct, yeah, focus more on usage instead of the base, yeah.
I personally am still in favor of reducing the debt service fee. I mean, if I was in a position, like personally with my finances and I had a really low interest loan. And I gotta pay my bills, I'd probably push that loan off, right? And I'd pay the bills that I gotta pay. I like that option one doesn't really have a negligible impact on the customers, that they're not gonna see a huge change, and we actually collect more money that way.
So us collecting more money that way, would that make up for that if not, if we don't raise the meter base fee? I mean,
No,
You said-
because that still includes a meter base fee increase.
oh, so this all includes the,
All three options include it meter based.
And you're only increasing the meter base fee from 88 cents to $1, is that correct?
no, we're not.
No, this
we're
meter
not
based.
doing
We're just talking about the meter
That's
base
what
fee.
they,
Okay, the base charge.
Meter
'Cause
base fee.
It doesn't say fee here, I'm like, that's why I brought my bill. And so I can see, because we call it a water meter base charge
On the bill.
on the bill right here.
Well, yeah, but
And then right below it, we have a water meter maintenance fee.
the charter says,
And the charter talks about fees and charges. It doesn't talk about.
you just said it was a charge,
Right,
so it's the same, I mean, it's basically, it has
It's
the
the
same
same.
description.
but the fee is, that's the one I don't see where. If we're just going to a block by.
Yeah, but
Well,
which option do we want?
I thought we had said at last meeting, more of us said the option. One for the rate. Which is going to 372 on 9/21/25.
And then decrease.
And then keeping the debt service. Where it was, is what I thought. Was
My notes had the other way
the
around.
other way around.
Yeah,
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 right,
where the debt fee was cut to where it's just enough to cover our annual cost. And then a gradual increase of the rates.
have we paid the extra rates that we've got in, the extra money that we have in there?
We paid them?
Have we sent them the extra money
No, it's still in the account.
still in?
Yeah.
Is it a current interest?
Oh, yes, I mean, right now, it's probably about $1 million, just chilling.
And honestly, with the low interest rate we got on our loan is probably accruing more interest.
We're making money,
Yeah.
interest rates are, I don't know, 4.5% at the LGIP, the state treasury account somewhere in
It
there.
was like 1.7, I think, on that,
Our interest rate is 1.5, yeah.
1.5.
Yeah,
It's just unreal.
yay, government.
So this is just a discussion to decide on which way do we wanna go with it, is that correct?
Yes, I need to get something
So
put
we
together
can
for
quit
resolution.
visiting this.
Make it
Let's
decision.
make a decision on what we wanna do, and then we can bring it back to the next meeting, we're not voting on that tonight, it's part of this.
Correct, I just need to know what to put in a resolution.
Take an informal poll, that'd be helpful, and feel where we are.
So. We're gonna go off of. Are you going, what graph are you gonna go off this one? Please, here.
But I think this one, second page in the packet,
The second page, residential water cells.
Uh,
And then the water meter base.
the calculations for average residential customer, I think it's the easiest one to go off with.
Which one was that?
This one, the one that's missing the erosion control.
Well, that's the first page.
All of
Okay,
it.
so we're all on the same page, and the first one had the three things. Go ahead, Eric.
I don't know what the point is, if we can't decide whether we can increase the meter maintenance fee or not, or sorry, meter base fee or not. I sat here and I listened to numerous people berate me for the garbage can fee. And now we're wanting to increase the meter base fee, and so there's no point in moving forward if we can't decide what that means.
But and I can counter that, we could at least raise the water usage rate and have the fee discussion at a later time. I mean, I don't know,
What are we raising it to?
that's the question, that's what we want.
That's
what we're gonna raise the
water too.
raise the usage rate and or lower the debt service fee or not? Those are like the three. So, we're gonna go ahead, Pete.
Not to muddy the waters, I know we're really
We got
running
like
out
3
of time.
minutes.
I was just gonna say that if we were in agreement though about increasing the rate and reducing the debt service fee. Maybe we then take that back to the people that did the COSA and say what we really need to change the water usage rate to. If we can't raise the water base fee and still have the same revenue coming into the water, that's all it is.
Does it cost us extra money to have Trilogy redo numbers and stuff? 'Cause
Yeah, but we still have room in the budget, though. We haven't spent everything to set aside for the project.
So, still as clear as, I'm sorry. Go ahead, let's start with Tiffany and go around the room real fast. Okay, so you're asking 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, or 3 for the rates, and then we're
Or all
gonna,
apart, pick which one you want.
yeah. We're not doing nothing with it, just so he knows where to go with it. I guess day one, I mean, I know we wanna. So one is raising. 1 or 2, I don't know, I'm somewhere in between, I mean. I wanna say. Water rate usage, the rate of 1 and the debt service of 2. I don't know,
1.5.
yeah, I mean. Okay, Eric.
I don't feel like I have enough information to make a decision without knowing the actual rate of the water usage rate per 1,000 gallons to make an actual decision. My only request is debt service as low as humanly possible to cover the cost that is necessary. We make money in a savings account.
All right, Mary Ann.
Well, before I say anything, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe the interest rate is going into that account. I don't believe so.
I don't know.
I don't believe so. So I cannot, based on when I was there, no, it's not. It's a debt fund, it's not getting interest. I don't like changing the debt service fee, because that is what the citizens not voted for, but was told that if we do $20 a month, we can pay this off early, and then it'd be off your bill. So, I'm not for, I think the water rates should be raised, but I will not vote for the debt service to be lowered. Unless you can tell me something different.
And I mean, optional.
Option 1 all the way.
And I hear Mary Ann saying, and I agree with what you're saying, I feel like the economic picture of the world has changed quite a bit though in the last few years, so. The interest rates being what they are now, that 1.5% is.
All right, I can do. Option 1 on the rates or the. Yeah, the charges. And then option 2 for debt service fee.
I thought that,
You said option 1 for the rates.
Yeah.
that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Eric and I were both reduce the rates and Mary Ann was more, don't reduce the rates.
At all.
So the debt service I get, but I just,
That's
when
right.
people, just because we have a 30-year loan, don't mean that that plant will last 30 years. It just means that hopefully we have that loan paid off before we have to do more major stuff. All right, so you got everything you need?
I have 3 people that like the idea of the increase in 1 year, one year increase, 372. Along with 1 counselor that wants the debt service rate at the lowest. I have 2 counselors who want the debt service rate at the middle mark, and 1 counselor who wants the debt service rate at, keep the highest debt service. 1 counselor did not provide, or 2 counselors did not provide, weight or, a water usage rate. So there seems to be consensus of the group that option 1, 372, the one-time increase is the usage rate increase, but we are still split on the debt service.
And I just want to clarify, Eric and I are both saying reduce the debt service too, so there should be 2 votes for reducing the debt service.
Oh, you're right.
And I got debt service too, number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have,
You and
yeah.
I.
Oh, you're sorry, yes, so I have, Eric and Pete for cutting it as low as possible. Tiffany and Brenda in the middle, and Mary Ann keeping it at $20. Did I have that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay,
And I think Bernard previously was advocating for reducing the debt service fee
I
as
believe
low as
so.
possible, but then staggering the rate
Yeah.
increase, if that's helpful.
That is correct, yeah.
All right, so we'll move out of this work session and we move into the regular meeting.
Yeah, I don't need to do anything.
Nope, we'll just roll right into it.
When you guys are ready. Call to order with pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the road call.
Careful.
Councilmember Tom,
Yeah, here.
Councilmember Howdy, Councilmember Keller,
Here.
Councilmember Seeger,
Excused.
Councilmember Pruitt, here, and Mayor Wood.
Here, he called me today and told me he's in the chat.
You're sorry. I didn't remember seeing any of it.
Additions or amendments to the agenda? None.
I don't have any.
Adoption of the consent agenda.
Move to adopt the consent agenda, approval of the action minutes from July 20th, 2025, ratification of bills amount of $142,891.42.
Second,
Second.
any discussion?
I did try to call it today, and I'm sorry, the system was kind of messed up today, but I do have one question on one of the checks. And, on the last page, for the last page that's in the packet for the July 31st, 2025, check register. Says that, check number 16488 was rewritten to replace check 16356 Aflac. But when you look back at that check, it was written to Dennis Snyder. So,
Which was also voided on a check.
Right,
register
right.
Before, so
so it's.
Mary Ann actually came in and you signed a check, right? Didn't you sign this check, this one check to Aflac?
Yeah.
So I had the check
That's
from
where
the
it's
bank there. And so she saw that,
Yeah,
and you guys saw the voided check before. All I can say is it was a mess. And the reason I put this on there
I appreciate that.
is so that you could see that it did replace that
Yeah.
check.
But it probably reflected different check, or did she, I just wanted you to be aware of that, I mean, it's not.
It is all, I mean, you know,
I
it's all
understand,
cleaned up.
I get that, but, yeah, just wanted to point that out.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thought about that, I did some, shit.
Any other discussion? Alright, all in favor of adoption of the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Alright, adoption of the consent agenda passes with everybody. Appearances of interested citizens to share on a variety of perspectives on issues facing our community. Did you get any slips? No. Alright. Public hearings,
No public hearings.
alright, action items, we're on to fill council vacancy.
Alright, Denise Emerlin Baker has resigned from the position on the council. The position's term is set to expire December 31st, 2026, is up for election on November 3rd, 2026. At the July 14th meeting, council selected to open applications to qualified residents to fill the vacancy starting July 15th and close on August 4th. Council selected to hold in-person interviews of applicants and appoint a replacement at the August 11th meeting. The city received 2 applications. Excuse me if I mispronounce her names, Sherelle Price and Courtney Keelman. Keilman. I knew it. I questioned myself. Their applications are attached for review. Staff have reviewed each applicant to ensure they've met required qualifications. City council options are to appoint one of the applicants, not appoint one of the applicants.
So the way we're gonna do it is that we're each gonna ask each of the applicants the same question. But in order to rotate it, we will take one for the first question, and then the next applicant will be first on the next question. Does that make sense? We'll rotate them. So otherwise, say if we use Courtney, she's gonna hear the question first, so Sherelle gets to hear it ahead of time. So the next time, then Sherelle will go answer the question first, and Courtney will hear it. That way, it's not always the same person that's getting a head start. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do. No, it
Does
doesn't.
it?
Sorry
So,
for being, manager. Good thing.
so I don't know, the best way we should do is just have both of you guys come up. And give your name and. Thank you both for applying, by the way, appreciate it. We need to take for him to get that.
I don't know what he's doing, so maybe.
Yeah. We can still. What's their names? Yeah. I'll let you start first before you give your name and just a little bit about yourself.
My name is Courtney Kyleman, a resident of Cascade Locks. Been attending city council meetings for about 2 years now. I'm very passionate about the city and future of the city, I'd like to see it prosper.
Thank you. Sure.
And I'm Sherelle Price. I've lived here my whole life. Family's been here for probably 50 years or more. Been a public servant for more than 20 years, worked for local government, and Parks and Rec District, so really familiar with financial, government finance, Oregon budget law, utilities, and very interested to serve because I'd like to participate in increasing the livability of our community and the financial stability of the community. I have a big passion for finance, so hoping I can contribute in that way.
All right, thank you. Why don't we start with you first, Tiffany?
You're going left, right, left?
Okay, I'll start with. Are you gonna start with Sherelle?
Sherelle, yeah, I'll start with Sherelle. Fortunately, well, actually, I'll start with Courtney, because she's already answered it, but not, because I don't want to just like that. My question was gonna be, and is, how many how many in-person meetings have you attended over the last year?
think. I would guess I've maybe missed 4 or in the last year or
Last
in the
year.
last year. I might have missed 2 in the last year.
And I've attended no in-person meetings in the last year.
Eric?
So Ms. Price, how do you plan to support the inclusion of all the diverse populations in the city of Cascade Locks, including their language abilities, voting status, sexual orientation, and nationality, and any others that may arise?
My work experience has given me a lot of opportunity to, take some trainings and classes with, including, diversity, inclusion. I know that volunteers are short in Cascade Locks, so a lot of our volunteers wear many hats, but there could be subcommittees of interested community members that speak different languages and are, you know, immersed in different cultures and upbringings. I feel like I can represent all people of the community just by understanding, listening to understand, and just generally caring for people. That was a tough question to answer.
Ms. Feldman, how do you plan to support the inclusion of all the diverse populations in the city of Cascade Locks, including language abilities, voting status, sexual orientation, and nationality, and others?
We treat everybody as equals, right? I believe we currently publish both Spanish and English flyers, is that accurate? I've only read the English ones, I don't know how to read Spanish, but I recognize that there's a large migrant population in the greater community here. Very, very grateful. I think bringing in more housing would be amazing. Open up our doors for people to come and move in. I believe that actions speak louder than words. And interactions of being accepting and welcoming to everybody, regardless of any of that long list. That's the best we can do, considering right now we have a lot of other things on our plate that I think feel take front row. So that's short term, right? Like there's bigger fish to fry short term right now.
Mary Ann?
Yeah.
Joshua.
You're doing Courtney first.
Thank you for raising your hand, Courtney. What are your thoughts on improving transparency and accountability in our local government?
I would like to see more public involvement, more community involvement. You know, the picnic was nice, being available for residents to ask questions, because not everybody's on Facebook, not everybody's able to make this meeting. I'm sure there's plenty of people that watch it on YouTube, when they can find time. But I think being more available to the public would be the first step in that.
Sherelle, what are your thoughts on improving transparency and accountability in our local government?
I think transparency is really important to, for the community to trust our local government, including our city council. Having open meetings, of course, advertising. I think being open and transparent in all of our communication and get-togethers. Means when we come together as a group, we can make haste when we're making decisions. We can do the work rather than mistrusting our employees or mistrusting council members. So I think transparency is really important to improve that when we get together for taking care of business.
Thank you.
Right. Sherelle, could you describe a situation where you use questions rather than statements to help a group explore an issue more deeply?
I think that's really important to draw other opinions from the group and being inclusive of all opinions and being patient. I feel like trying to gain understanding where the other person might be coming from, if there's a conflict between two of us or, you know, two groups of people. I think posing it as a question means more open communication.
Sorry, maybe I didn't say that clearly. I was asking if you could describe a situation where you did that. Is there any specific example that comes to mind?
Well, I do it at work all the time. I constantly working with customers as well as peers when we're working on big projects. Mass meter exchange program right now, we're replacing all the water meters in the city of Gresham. And it's important when you have different stakeholders at the table, water operations team, field staff, managers, the business systems administrators. We're all coming from different places, different experiences and different, skills and assets at the table. And by asking questions, rather than dictating or saying the way it should be, ask some questions to try to get people, the conversation going and make sure they're sharing their expertise.
Ms. Kyleman? I'm just trying to practice saying your name. Showing off. Pardon me, could you describe a situation where you use questions rather than statements to help a group explore an issue more deeply?
I've found that more often than not, in my day-to-day life, the largest conflicts come when people are using a different definition for a word. You know, like I was talking to my boss the other day about being in the field. And for him, being in the field on a construction site means just being present out there. And for me, being in the field means using my hands, using my tools and working. And we had a miscommunication there, and I was able to back it up and ask some questions and figure out like where the hole in that conversation went. And I feel like being able to understand the other perspective, truly understand it, not just hear the words coming out of their mouth, but being able to take it to heart, is the best way to resolve any miscommunications or misunderstandings. And there was a group of us, it wasn't just me and my boss.
Thank you.
And it's Sherelle first this time, right?
No,
No,
it's
oh, you. All right, what do you believe are the most pressing issues facing our community, and how would you work with council to address them?
And I think, well, for a while now, the audits have been a really hot topic, but as of right now, I believe that the fire and EMS is probably on the minds of a lot of our residents. I'm very excited for the pack that'll be created in the door-to-door. Regardless if I'm a city council member or not, I was hoping to really be a part of that and spreading the message and make sure that we have informed voters. I think it's a really important issue. And you know, the community has expressed their desire to keep fire and EMS in our community. And so to be able to do that for them, I think would be number one at the moment.
All right, Sherelle, what do you believe are the most pressing issues facing our community, and how would you work with council to address them?
I think one of the biggest issues for me that I see is the current financial state of this city, as well as the future financial state of the city. And that's because that's my wheelhouse and it's really interesting to me. Going through the budget process and learning kind of that we're a little behind in financials and audits is kind of alarming to me. Approving a budget without completed audits is alarming. And I think there's a handful of people on this council who could spend some extra time working towards a plan to resolve where we're at right now. Three, how many can you have together without three? So I'm sure there's a couple of people on this council that have some financial prowess and understanding of government finance who could get together and maybe come up with some paths forward to help get us where we need to be now and also plan for the future.
Thank you. All right, but did you have any questions?
Nope.
All right, so.
I know that when I talked to Bernard on the phone, I suggested we email his questions since. But did he do that?
No, he didn't, and he didn't mention, I don't have anything from him, he didn't mention them whenever he called, so. No. All right. think that's, I think that's all that we have, we just gotta. Council's gotta. Mhm. Go ahead, Pete.
Make a motion to appoint Sherelle Price to fill the vacancy on the council. Second.
All right, any discussion? Go ahead, Pete.
I'll explain why I made my motion, right? I wanna make sure, I feel incredibly fortunate that we have both two applicants sitting here in this incredibly hot room and knowing what you're signing up for, so, that means a lot, and I guess I think that. Honestly, I think we'd be well served if we had either one of you on council, and. But my reason why I brought the motion for Sherelle was because I feel like our number one issue in the city is our finances. And that's one of the reasons why I advocated for Bernard to get on council. I feel fortunate that we have Mary Ann on council. It's one of the reasons why I think Tiffany's so great on council, because of your attention to detail and all the budget. I think we're in such a strong position, and I think that experience is incredibly valuable. So that's why I am advocating for Sherelle. But I think that Courtney would do great as well.
Any other discussion? Eric,
I support Ms. Price, for an alternate reason as well as, the financial experience is, I feel that there are currently 3 members of this council that support and reflect the ideas and the visions of a very specific group, a coalition of residents within our city. Mr. Happy and I, and maybe, I don't know, represent a different coalition. Bernard has his coalition. My view is that Ms. Price will bring her coalition that is all separate from those. And I value Ms. Kyleman, I value everything that she has done, but I feel it's another representation of the exact same coalition that's being represented, where Ms. Price will bring the ideas and the values of that coalition that is not being represented. And that is what Ms. Baker was asking for, is not to replace and bring on representation of the same coalition, but to ensure the diverseness of all of our residents in our city.
I only got one comment. I like both of you guys. Thanks both for applying. Either one of you will be great for the job. However, I don't represent certain community members. I represent all the community members. I'm nonpartisan. So that means whatever my personal political beliefs are, do not come to this meeting. So otherwise I can't represent everybody. And that's why I've been trying to get out to meet people, and so they can get to know me and all that. So I just wanna say, whoever gets put in the spot, it is a nonpartisan position, and you gotta be that way. Otherwise you can't represent everybody in our community. And I've seen that happen in the past, and it's been very painful to walk into it and fight this constantly. So I would hope that we're all united and represent all the community. Go ahead, Pete.
I just want, I don't wanna put words in your mouth there, but we did talk before the meeting a little bit, and. I think that what I understood from our conversation before, and I guess it wasn't necessarily that we were specifically representing specific people, but I know that I'm more deeply connected with the young parents that are moved into town in the more recent years than I am with some of the people that have been here for 40 or 50 years. And so that's where I feel like I certainly feel responsibility to represent all of Cascade Locks, but I do feel like I'm more in touch with the issues that are more, I guess, pressing for the people that are maybe the more recent residents that have moved here, I guess I just want to clarify that, and, so, and I was curious though, if, you could clarify for us. Yes, you speak to the different coalitions you feel like we represent, could you, not to put us in boxes, but I guess, how do you see, I guess, the connection, would you mind explaining that?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Wood, for bringing that up. My no intention was I say you only represent this group. But when I go out and I communicate and I visit in the community, the group of people that come to me and ask questions and the group of people that I engage with are vastly different than the group that you engage with on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Yes, I go to the community events and I'm trying to do that, to represent the entirety. But my group, my people that I surround myself with is that, and they're the people that provide me feedback. And you have people that provide you feedback, and Ms. Bump has people that provides her feedback. That's what I mean by coalition of the people. Yes, we represent the entirety. This isn't a political group. It's just the people that we hear from on a daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis is unique. And I believe that Ms. Price is going to bring in a new group that feels comfortable going to Ms. Price to hear and include them into this. That's where I'm trying to get.
Thank you, Eric. Tiffany? I just wanna say that we've never had a Baker standard before. When appointing somebody, we don't, the person who leaves that position doesn't get a say in what the future council, who they get to appoint, so that's moot.
Okay,
I just wanted to say, I have tremendous respect for Denise and her service, but I agree with you, I don't think that anybody that's leaving council can dictate to the rest of the council who should be filling a position, I agree with you.
Thank you.
Did you have anything, Mary Ann? Everybody's good? So we can go to a vote. Do you wanna just do? You wanna do roll call vote, or do you wanna go around the, just say aye? Happy?
Well, if you think we need a roll call, then maybe we should do
It's up
that.
to you guys, yeah.
I think you should, just so it's clear.
Okay, so. Uh. Councilmember Bump,
No.
Councilmember Happy.
Aye.
Councilmember Keller.
Aye.
Councilmember Pruitt.
No.
Aaron Mayor Wood.
No.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to appoint Courtney Kyleman to council.
a second. Alright,
I was thinking.
late, I don't know why I
I was
wasn't
gonna say,
thinking, I don't think. I'm-
Tiffany.
And here's why. She's been here for 2 years, sitting in the chair. Being part of council, not being part of council, but she's been here for the meetings. 2, she has her own group of people that she would represent that might not necessarily, I don't have kids in high school. I don't have, I'm not as big of a pet lover as she is. But she's had her finger on the pulse and of what's going on in the city, and she's gotten more involved. She's been part of budget this year, she's been part of planning, she was in charge of the charter a review committee, and recent email that we received from the city administrator, he was already up in arms that we have 2 past employees on the city council. And Sherelle Price was also a previous employee of the city of Cascade Locks. So to me, that just would seem to add to the angst of our city administrator.
Well, I mean, I would like to, I know Cheryl will do a fantastic job, really do. But on Courtney's behalf, she applied for the one here and never got it. She has went out and ran for the office and just missed it. So I believe that she needs a chance to do it. But Cheryl, I know you would do a fantastic job. You know me, I know you. You'd be great.
and I will speak, as I said before, either one of you guys are gonna be a winner. Courtney brings to us electrical. I know nothing about electrical, barely a meter. So she brings something fresh and new to us as well, and she's attended all the meetings and stuff. And she's also ran for city councilor as well. Anybody else have anything? Go ahead, people.
I always enjoy the debate process, I really do, and the point you just brought up about the electric experience, I mean, I know that you're a union, contractor and electrician. And we've talked a lot about how electrical is our biggest asset in the city, so that's a key point that I really take into consideration. But I guess one of the, I didn't really say this when I was advocating for Sherrill before, but just the budget review process, I felt like was really enlightening, and one of the things I really appreciated about Ms. Price during that process was the way that there were times I felt like we reached an impasse and we weren't really moving an idea forward. And she'd ask a clarifying question that helped us all kind of see things maybe a little bit clearer, and it would move the conversation forward. And, so that's really, I feel like this debate process and dialogue is incredibly important for decision making, and having people on council that can look at issues and ask those questions that make us all think a little bit differently, I think is incredibly valuable. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. Anybody else? Eric, did you have anything?
No, I stated my point.
No. All right, Kathy.
Councilmember Pruitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Happy,
Yes.
Councilmember Keller,
No.
Councilmember Bump,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Kirkland.
Right
Right there.
Thank you so much. Both of you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Sherelle.
Thanks, thanks.
You cannot torture me with your crocheting any longer.
I was thinking I got.
So now we'll do the oath of office. She'll
Yeah.
immediately be seated, and we'll note, as mentioned, this will now open up a spot on both the planning commission and the budget committee.
Take away. Please raise your right hand.
I state your name. I, Porter County, do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear. That as counselor of the city of Cascade, Oregon. That as counselor of the city of Cascade, Oregon. I will uphold the constitutions of the United States. I will uphold the constitutions of the United States and the state of Oregon and the state of Oregon and the city charter and ordinances and city charter and ordinances. And will faithfully execute the duties. And will faithfully execute the duties entrusted to me. By the electric other than the Cascade line. By the Lord for it, of the city of Cascade. Just you to sign that thing and date written.
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you. Very nice stuff. Sit on that.
All right, moving on. Reports and presentations. Audit update.
I'll wait for Councilor
Yeah.
Kyle to get seated.
Look at that, you nailed it.
I know,
Yeah.
Only took you 2 years.
Even with a little bit of a list.
I'll
you
still
can
get it
do
wrong. I will still get it wrong.
It's okay, we'll put 2 2s on the end of my name, so.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I have both done.
All the time, or try to put it in. I don't bother
Mine's
me,
the
obviously,
opposite,
my husband.
they drop a T.
Mine does, I had an F, so. There's no way. It's make sure you have the rules.
Alright, quick update for the audit finance director. Mark provided the following update. The audit process is continuing to evolve. A single audit is currently being done. That is a detailed dive into federal funds spent, so this is focusing on the wastewater update we did in fiscal year 22-23. The auditors have decided that each grant and loan as a separate audit, so slowed it down. We've gotten additional documentation requests. Hopefully, once this is received, we will not need any additional information from us. We're gathering everything to get it to them this week. We are hopeful this will be their last request. We are both astounded by just the sheer number of requests we keep getting from them. It's one after, every time we think, okay, this is the last one, 6 more come in, and it just keeps going, going, and going. So we are optimistic this is the last one. Unfortunately, planned vacations and unexpected sicknesses, outages from multiple staff slowed progress the last 2 weeks. We've not been able to nail down an estimated completion date for FY 23-24. We're not expecting to get an estimate until 22-23 is wrapped up, so. But again, we are hopeful. This is the last request. They have not come back saying anything about a change to the end of August for this current audit, so. That's where we're at.
I just had one question on the proposed completion date, since it's 8/22/25, would they be presenting on council on that?
No, that's when we should get
You guys.
something back from them, and then we'll work forward to get the presentation.
Okay.
But at that point, we can still move forward with the next audit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I maybe explained this, but I didn't understand it. The single audit is currently being done. What does that sentence mean?
Single audit.
So anytime you spend, I think the threshold is $750,000 in federal funding on a project, they do a full separate audit of that.
That's good by law.
And we got the 3.2 USDA loan grant, another $1 million in a loan. Another 2.5 million grant from the Community Development, and then 1.1 million split in half between a loan and a grant from Oregon Business Oregon. So it's multiple funding spots, but they're focusing on the USDA funding and the Community Development Block Grant. And it's this essentially a completely separate audit from our normal day-to-day operating audit.
So the single audit refers to the regular fiscal audit that we knew about now, and then the auditors decided to do each grant and loan as a separate audit.
Correct.
So it's just
Yeah.
clarifying that
It's
what was already being done is already being done, is still being done, but
It's-
now additionally, we're now doing.
multiple single audits, yes.
Anybody else have any questions or anything on this? No? All right, City Administrator Bennett report.
Not a super detailed report, National Night Out, it was decently attended, it was hot as heck, I don't think anybody was expecting that, but it was hot that night. I collected 23 surveys that night, tried to mingle as much as I could with half of my face working, but I got 23 turned in. While discussing the future of City Hall, there was agreement that an update was due, however, general disagreement on saving the building versus building a new one. For the survey, there was a clear leader in additional amenities, programs folks would like to see. The clear top three were a library, food bank, and post office, essentially kind of on that theme of a one-stop shop for the community. The next group consisted of community garden, sports complex, public transit hub, and both a small and large conference room, so kind of a mixed bag there. I gave copies of the survey to the mayor for the second Saturday collection. I'm not sure how those went.
You got 9 and I set them on your table in your office.
Oh, is that where those came from?
Yes,
Okay, all right.
That's
Where did you sneak those in?
when you guys were working on that. On the TV.
Oh, okay, all right. We also have them out front, here when people come in to film out. We've got a handful of those as well, so. Yeah. City Hall and Master Facilities Plan. After talks with other city managers and architects, the best path forward is to take a step back instead of focusing on just City Hall. We complete a master facilities plan for all buildings and our lands. I'm working to develop a draft scope of work and get quotes to gauge how much the plan, a development would cost. I worked with some great architects that, were kind of really walking me through the process. Held my hand, we developed the scope of work that just wanted to help. And I've actually kicked that out to a handful of companies. Just curious to see what the cost is to come back. I'm thinking 20 grand, but I really don't know. So I don't think any of us can be comfortable moving forward until we have an idea of what that number would be, so.
Can I ask a question on that? Well, can you explain why that change? Why, I mean, you say what you're gonna do, but you don't explain why you're changing it from just City Hall to facility master,
What changed your mind?
yes.
What really talking with those architects,
That
like,
is-
yeah, we'd be pouring a bunch of money, getting a cost estimate for this building that, great. We have an idea of what we want, it's gonna cost, we spend 20 grand, get a cost estimate for a building that's, $15 million, what we think we want. But we've never actually done the process to figure out what we need. So a complete facilities review of this building, our warehouse, our pump station. The vacant land we have, could we utilize those for something different? There's another building I already can't think of right now. The space we have at the treatment plant, there's a lot of room we can do there. So really, what is the best option for it instead of just renovating this building? So it's a holistic approach.
And what will that, what, I mean, and purpose, what, why?
The old adage of you have to spend money to make money, nobody's gonna give you money to do something without a plan. So this will be a system-wide plan saying, okay, we wanna replace City Hall, but then we have 3 other buildings over here also falling apart. We're gonna look at all of them and a strategic, what's the word I'm thinking of? Holistic approach to all of the city's facilities, not just one building.
So then just one more question on that. You say we have property, where do we have property?
We have the 2 spaces downtown, actually 3, Overlook Park, the plaza. And then there's a little triangle of space behind the Cascade Inn and the Columbia Gorge Inn that I don't know why we own, it's useless.
There's nothing to
It's-
put on Triangle Place.
It's useless, I mean, I would assume we would sell it to Ton, who owns those 2 properties, but we'll figure that out. We own about 35 acres up the hill back behind the Reckle, RV park, I think it's somewhat behind there, right?
Behind it, up above,
Dry Creek.
behind the way station.
Way station, yeah, in that area, it's about 35 acres, and then we own a random 5-acre parcel down on Frontage Road. Next to, I wanna call it Oxbow campsite, I don't remember if that's right though, is it Oxbow?
I think it's Herman.
Herman Creek, yeah, sorry, I was getting confused, the Herman Creek campground.
How much was that? How many?
5
5 acres, which we actually didn't know until we did a random search or something. We got something from some state agency asking about land and we had no idea, so.
Eric,
Was that the land that got logged?
No, our land has not been logged, it's private land. You're talking next to the substation?
Across,
Yeah.
across from,
Yeah, so that's private land. Yeah,
So where's the 5 acres then?
on the other side, so if you're coming from Hood River. And you take the Forest Lane exit, I believe that is. I think it's gonna be, he's gonna show you, but I think it's right, instead of turning left and going under the underpass and getting the frontage road, I think it's off in that area to the right. But I could be wrong, that's what, they're gonna describing it to me, that's what I was, like a little partial out there.
Or the Google Maps or any kind of maps.
and that, place behind the, remind me if I'm wrong, but that little square behind the, I mean, triangle behind the hotel was once supposed to be a meeting space for the teenagers because we took away the skate park, remember that? That was a.
Maybe it is on the
I
frontage
don't
road,
remember
it's
that.
on the opposite side, I think.
Yeah, so we own about 35 acres somewhere in here. I don't know the exact spot. The 5-acre parcel that I'm talking about is. Yeah, right here, right here.
So then,
Wow.
okay,
Why?
there are people there camping. So can we kick them off our land?
No, it's not our land.
They're on the side of the street.
No, they're like, one of them is back up.
I didn't know if there was, I had no idea.
There's 2 now.
Oh,
There's one in that little open area, and then there's like a road that goes from there to, is it Herman Creek Road?
Probably.
Up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a little dirt road and he's up on the dirt road
Ew, I had no idea. Okay,
and he's been there for at least a week.
good to know.
Not to get us on a tangent, but sorry, no, it's all right, I saw one of those guys smoking in like 3 feet of dry grass.
I know, yeah,
It's
yeah, that would be
scary.
You guys don't even wanna know how many cigarette butts I pick up. Just on Forest Lane and Wanapa on my walks every day that people.
Little girl.
You have one more second.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
And yeah, just real quick, you said city managers and architects, so do you know other city managers that have been through that process?
oh, yes, yeah.
Can you clarify who that is?
Oh, gosh, North Plains did one not that long ago. Talked to Tiger. Who was the other one I talked to? I can't remember, but yeah, there's
So
quite a few.
the end of that would be a full
Beaver.
inventory of all of our property and buildings.
Correct, and we can scope it down, like, so a lot of the bigger cities will scope it down to like just water facilities, sewer facilities, so it's within each department. I think for us, we're small enough, we can use citywide, include the fire station, city hall, that was a building I forgot. We have a warehouse originally built in 1970, I think it's been touched since then. It's got some issues, so the whole system.
Thanks.
I think the only thing I don't have on there is the actual reservoir themselves. We're not gonna do them, so. Yep.
Any more questions on that?
Hopefully.
Excuse me. So this started with an idea to fix up City Hall. And then you recognize that zooming out a little bit from that picture and looking at the bigger picture, while we've got all these other needs to address. Do you foresee zooming out again and finding other larger problems before we address these problems, before we address this?
I think the only other way we could zoom out is if we did a community-wide facilities need, where we brought in the port with this process. Maybe the library, the food bank, that's the only other way we could zoom out. Instead of city facilities, we do community facilities.
So are you committed to staying at city facilities, or do you think that you will be zooming out again and looking at
I
community
think it
facilities?
depends on where the conversation goes. I'm curious to see what the quotes get back for this, and maybe if it's, comes back 50 grand, which we don't have, maybe there is some kind of partnership with the port we need to figure out, so we can both move forward.
And I was just gonna say, and I could see some benefit maybe of partnering with the port if we're looking at actually shared workspace.
Correct,
And
yes.
So I, that's where I thought that there might be some value in actually, I get your point, like we keep going and we never get anything done. But I could see some value maybe of partnering with the port.
Yeah, their facilities aren't much better than ours.
I mean, doing this much of a deep dive on City Hall, I feel like was kind of a surprise, and now it's kind of a surprise that we're looking at community facilities. And so I'm just wondering if there's gonna be any more surprises, or maybe more communication, so that it doesn't seem like we're just, it was surprising, that's all.
Any other questions, comments? It's all right.
Tourism committee, city staff, tourism committee, and tourism support staff are discussing and reviewing options to revamp, rebuild, or how tourism is run in and by the city. Due to the low number of committee members, the committee meets inconsistently, which delays progress. There's also a gap in the work the committee members expect to do and what they are actually tasked with. Even when full, our committee system slows down progress and enthusiasm. Nothing is set in stone. All options are on the table. We hope to present to council a plan forward sometime in September. So I think everybody recognizes that just the way it's currently set up is not working. When it was originally set up as a tourism and beautification program, there was hands-on work that committee could do, and that's essentially been taken away. Now they're a process and approval group that none of them really signed up for. They want to be out actively doing things for the community, so.
Mary Ann, no.
Why has that process been taken away?
Yeah, that was my-
The tourism has not changed other than your leadership. And we're not beautification committee anymore, are we?
No,
No.
it's been
No.
years and years.
Yeah.
So as a tourism committee, they can get hands-on, there's nothing to stop them. I mean, if they work at the PCT days, which is not normally what they do, so why do you say that the process has changed? If it's changed, it's because of the administration part of it,
Or what has.
or what has changed.
Yeah, I think the way interpretation or the support staff interprets what a tourism committee can do. I think they're very leery because everything they've heard is you can't do beautification, it's tourism heads and beds. And I think they're leery of kind of where does that envelope go and how is that money spent?
So, when you say support staff, you mean Janice, is that what you're?
And previous. Yeah, not just the most recent, the two that I've worked with, the two previous ones. Or current and previous.
I've talked to recently a couple of them that have recently resigned just to see like what it was, and people that join tourism mostly do it to like hand out flowers or be at PCT days or go water flowers or something like that, and they're getting into where they're deciding a budget. You know, and they don't wanna be planning in here deciding a budget to be on tourism, they wanna be telling people about Cascade Locks and how beautiful it is and doing things like that, so I think somewhere that's gotta change or something's gotta change, cause we're not able to get people to join tourism. We have an application for next meeting now.
So when this discussion comes up in the future, can you give us examples of what other cities do?
Yeah, oh, yes, that's part of the process.
Because, I mean, to me, this is the way it's always been. I don't know if it's supposed to be anything different. I mean, it's been. I mean, cause when I was in council the first time, I mean, the argument was always because, you know, Guy to Hate always wanted flowers and we
Yeah.
can't do flowers but then. It's my understanding that the tourism rules have changed some. That they can now, tourism dollars can go toward buildings, which they couldn't do before.
Yes, they have to be.
So there's some things that have, you know, morphed and we probably haven't caught up. So.
Correct, yeah, that part of the whole process, yeah, great. Last, well, I guess not last, I have one additional item to add, but last on the printed report is some grants we're going after. Department of Energy grant to construct solar panels on the fire station. Business Oregon and Oregon Health Authority for water leak detection system. This third one for a security and risk assessment, we won't get what we need in time for the grant application, so that one's off the table now. And then the last one is the Oregon Department of Land Conservation Development to review the housing portion of our community development. So those are all in the works.
And that $100,000, that's how much it's gonna cost?
That's what we're asking,
That's what we're asking.
to be on the safe side. It might come in less, but that's what we're asking for, just to make sure we cover everything. Because as you all know, code review is not a quick or cheap process.
Okay, happy?
Quick question, the grants that we're applying for, how many of those would we have been eligible for without the down the strategic plan at least? We have been-
We'd still be eligible for all.
We wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have prevented us, no.
And then the second question is to back up to the 7B staff report. Sorry for going backwards, everybody. I know. So I see the proposed start date for the 23-24 at 9/1/25. Did that change? Cause when we saw the proposed completion date for the
Oh.
23. I wondered if we could have one line so that we could just see how those dates changed.
You're right, yeah, I would have coordinated with the changes in the completion of the current audit. Yeah.
Thanks, that would have been helpful.
Yeah,
just to
you're right.
see how that's
Good.
Yep.
All right, Mary Ann,
Sorry, I don't have a question on the report, but I do have a question. LOC has sent out a utility and franchise fee survey. Have you done that?
Not yet, no, it's on the list, yeah.
Okay, cause they've extended to August 22nd,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed our city wasn't in there, so that's why I
Yeah,
was
I
asking.
haven't done
okay. Any other questions on city administrators report?
it. I do have one more item.
Okay.
North Wasco PUD wanted to have a follow-up discussion. On if there was any interest in council to move that discussion forward. I would still like to explore the idea of maybe not the lineman crew, but the estimating, engineering, the GSI mapping, kind of all the behind the scenes administrative process. Having that in one house, just down the road, instead of having it out between 4 or 5 different companies. Most of them based out of Portland and Vancouver, who don't visit the site. I mean, the Dalles is right there. And depending on how discussion in our executive session tonight goes, I would like to explore the idea of lineman crew as well. I mean, is there general consensus from council to keep exploring that, or is that dead?
I personally didn't have any, I mean, I don't even know what it looks like. I mean, they say what they do and all of that, but how much would it cost us?
Well, that's what we get into. But if council's not interested, there's no point in having that discussion.
I don't think,
I'm not.
Yeah.
And I can't say whether I'm interested or not until I see numbers, I don't know. They are meeting on Thursday and they only want staff there, they don't want any elected officials in that meeting. So, go ahead, Happy.
Are you talking the Wasco, North Wasco?
North
Yeah,
Wasco Community,
this Thursday.
yeah, I don't remember if you were present for that one.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was there for the North Wasco PUD presentation. I wasn't
Okay.
for that.
Oh, yeah.
Plus council meeting.
Yeah.
And I guess my takeaway from that was part of the reason why, we talked about bringing this in-house is so that we could get. More stuff done, when we weren't, and I like the idea of being able to create local jobs in our community. So I guess I wasn't really all that excited about just contracting that work out to another company. But the idea of just contracting out the admin stuff, I think that's more appealing to me than
Yeah.
losing the alignment of working for
I
me.
agree, yeah.
Are you saying that you wanna change engineers? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Then don't you have to do an RFP to go out for engineering? You can't just hire somebody, you have to do an RFP, am I correct?
From my understanding, if it's another public entity, no. It'd be an IGA with another public entity. But I can double check that.
Well, I think you should do an RFP to do it out there,
Yeah,
to see what's there, it might be. And BKI has been out here, it's not that they haven't been out here. But maybe they don't come out here enough, I will probably say that, but I really think an RFP is requested. Required.
can you speak a little bit more, unless you don't wanna say it in a public meeting, why you would wanna consider switching engineering?
Staff has not been happy with their performance. It has not been stellar. I can go into more details if you would all like in one-on-one meetings, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Alright, we're good?
Are you out with all yours? That's all I got?
Alright, mayor and city council comment.
We're gonna go this way?
Yes.
I can't raise my hand. I just wanted to say PCBAs are coming up. I know Janice sent out a sign up sheet and I'm gonna be out of town. But I did look at the sign up sheet and there are still spots available. If there's anybody that can sign up, I know that she's looking for some volunteers to help member.
Then they're looking for people to do this, right on the stern wheeler on one day, too, some elected officials and stuff to write on the stern wheeler.
Friday.
I think that's Friday, 6 to 8:30.
Yeah.
6:30 to 8:30.
Sorry.
That's all right, that's all I had, that was it, I just wanted, and sorry I couldn't be here last week, but I really, or last meeting, but, I just really appreciate the fact that one of these, what we have a board is so that we don't all have to be here every single meeting, and, so thank you all for excusing my absence.
Yes.
Can you also give a report on your Dexter? Did you meet with Dexter?
Yeah, I was there, we had, staff prepared remarks for the mayor to read, the mayor did a fantastic job of reading those remarks. And really, I think Jordan and I were just eye candy to sit next to the mayor.
Alright. Mary Ann.
I just have a couple, I'd like to question Jordan on, the staff report that he sent out. That you've heard back from most council on changes on weekly reports? Who have you heard from?
The mayor, Pete, we've talked a little bit about it, Eric and Bernard.
Oh, I
Yes.
see, okay. And you're changing your hours to, it says my new schedule will be 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday and 7:30 to noon on Fridays.
Oh,
Are you
and I
gonna
put
work
Friday,
multiple times or
I put
what?
Friday twice, yeah,
Uh-huh.
sorry,
I
Monday
thought
through
you were
Thursday,
Thursday.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sorry, Monday through Thursday and then Friday, yeah.
And the last thing I have is in the newspaper this last week, there was a statement made that I believe Nan put in, that kind of gets to me and you'll understand why. It says, in bringing the city's audits up to date, City Administrator Jordan Bennett reported a delay on 2022-23 audits currently in progress prior to Bennett's tenure, a failure to load the fiscal year's budget into the city's accounting software created a delay in getting the requested documents to the auditor. I am disagreeing with that. It wasn't prior. It was 22, 23 was another finance officer and you. So why are you, why is it that you're saying it's prior to your tenure, which is my area, and I resent that. So either Nan has got it wrong, or this is actually what you said, I don't know. But I don't appreciate it being in the newspaper when it's not my audit. And it's Dave, I mean, excuse me, it's the finance officers that was hired after me. So I think there's some miscommunication between our news reporter and this meeting. So I'm just saying that, this is disrespectful to me. Cause it's not my audit. And that's all I got.
We do that.
Okay, Eric.
I find incredible value in my one-on-one meetings with Jordan, and I encourage you all to sit down and schedule them. I often have to update him, and he's incredibly flexible, and I get to ask questions in a non, not public, but like formal, thank you. Formal was like, you just get to have an honest conversation, and I really value that conversation that we have, and the feedback that you provide to me as well. The PCT days, I volunteered last year for about, I don't know, 4 hours or so, 3 hours, I don't know, somewhere around in there. And it was fun, an incredible amount of people from all over the world came and checked out our booth and, well, I mean, the tourism booth, and it was fun, I really enjoyed it, so I would encourage you guys all to participate and get down there. I'll just leave it. Did I that? Oh, lastly, alright. When I was coaching softball, the biggest feedback that I got from parents was more communication. There was a schedule, it said, these are our games, this is when we're leaving, this is who we're playing, this is where the field is at. And the parents wanted more. Hey, can you remind us, like next week, we have a game at Helmerston, we're leaving at 2, we're gonna be back at 10. Like, yes, they had the information, but they needed more, they wanted more. And I don't know where this work session came from, but the only reason somehow I missed it on the agenda, and then in my conversation with Mr. Happy, he said, I'll see you at the work session. I'm like, what work session? And I don't know where these work sessions are coming from. I can send out, please, a text. Oh, I don't know where, like, if we want, like, I really appreciate it. First Monday of the month, we're having a work session. Or every other month, we're gonna have a work session. Please, like, can we have a discussion about when these are happening?
We will. Is that all you got?
Yeah, sorry.
You're okay. Tiffany?
Okay, so, I posted something online, about, I don't remember what it was, but somebody, mentioned Antelope, and they had gotten an Oregon Heritage Grant. Have we looked into that organization for granting for their building, for their, I don't know, they have an older building.
I don't remember the details, but I'm pretty sure I have.
Okay. And do we know what happened to the crosswalk thing in front of Whiskey Flats, the sign that was there and now it's not there now? It's just gone.
I'm assuming the police officer picked it up. I don't know.
No, not for not for speed, but there was a post, there was a pedestrian, there was a post in the middle of it, and then, because the, Donna or laughing about it, because I said, well, we're gonna play spats on who's gonna knock it out first, and he said, well, it'll probably be us, but it's gone, it just
The one in
disappeared.
the middle of the road?
Yeah,
ODOT puts that in during the summer and they take it out for winter for when they plow. Why they took
Maybe
it
it's
out?
not winter yet.
Yeah, why it would go now, I don't know, but that's what they did last year. They had that same thing out last year and they took it out before winter.
Yeah, can we go back to ODOT? Sorry, I'm really sorry, I should have written all this down. I was at the post office yesterday and the establishment next door that shall remain unnamed, and I rolled my ankle on the sidewalk. My guess is that somebody out there put the wrong de-icer and it like eroded the concrete. Whose responsibility is it to fix that?
Property owner? ODOT.
ODOT?
I thought ODOT's agreement was curb to curb, not sidewalk.
I think it's the curb though. Isn't the curb that you said was?
No, the sidewalk, that was all mangled
You know
from
that
the accident,
actually
would be my
sidewalk
guess,
is
it's not
their sidewalk.
in front of the post office, it's bad, yeah, it is.
Okay, so.
Sorry, I'm
No,
so.
no, that's all right, you gotta get it out while you think of it. So, so can we find out what happened to that sign and why it's out so early? Can we, I said you're gonna be contacting ODOT. sounds
Yeah,
like.
crosswalk. Or pedestrian sign where that thing is.
Yeah, the pedestrian, whatever, crosswalk, I don't know, it just disappeared and it didn't seem like it was up for very long. I don't even know when it went down, I just noticed the other day, it was gone.
Yeah, I don't even remember being up.
I don't remember it being a.
Yeah, no, it
Was
was
it
up,
last year?
because I was joking with. Was it last? I thought we had it up this year, didn't we have it up this year?
I don't recall.
last year. I don't know. last year.
Okay, well, but even still, where did it go, why, I mean.
Maybe they forgot to put it up.
It's ODOT, they're a mystery,
Yeah, well, they're in it.
Always in one.
Okay, and then, I'm gonna harp back on the, city administrator pay raise. The budget, in the budget message, it's clearly stated that, as long as council approves, that he would get his raise, and it also states in the contract that, evaluation of salary should take place 1 year after the effective date of this agreement and every 2 years thereafter. And the date of this contract was 6/17/24. So if we don't discuss it this year, then we don't discuss it for another 2 years. So I feel like we really need to discuss it. And then we won't have to discuss it for a couple of years. But question about that, does that mean that you don't get raises for 2 years, or we just
I
don't discuss it? I
mean, I can put on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got the email, which you'll probably have to send to Courtney. Your
We'll
emails
meet.
from today.
Yeah.
And this is really nice, but was this done with city time and resources? Because that I thought was a violation of because I'm pretty sure that's our governor already, you can't use city resources or paid staff to do this. Is that,
So we hired a third party to put it together, I sent it to the elections office for their review.
okay, so we hire, but we use city resources.
Yes, yeah,
So, so that's an important question to ask, because I don't want it to get started off.
yeah, that's why I wanna make sure it's safe for the city to send out, yeah. Or to us to use it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I really don't want to, start up on one foot.
Yeah.
And. Yeah, and then also, I also wanted to say also in the contract, it states that you'll give reports on meetings that you go to. And I feel like that's kind of been lacking. I mean, we hear you go to meetings, but we don't hear what went on in meeting or what came out of the meeting or, that sort of thing. So I would like that part a little bit beefed up so that we know, what it was about or, see. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, and then I will set up my appointment to talk with you because I do have some things to say about that letter that was sent out earlier. No, that it? Yeah, all right. Courtney.
I am very grateful to have the opportunity to serve our community on city council. And I appreciate everybody's confidence in my abilities. I mean, between me and Cheryl, I don't know if I would have voted for her. Cheryl's definitely a wonderful candidate. And I can understand that that's not an easy choice. And I look forward to building professional relationships with everybody. I agree, one-on-one time. When you really get to know a person, it's one thing to sit in a meeting and look from the outside or even from the inside, but to build a one-on-one relationship, I think really humanizes people. So, just grateful, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I just have a few things, the House Bill 5066.
Yeah.
Should have passed, even if it wasn't signed, it passed, so that means that we got that $1.6 million loan erased for the citizens of Cascade Lot, so that's a big deal. Thanks to Trey Hendricks at Pinnacle and Daniel Bonham, and Jeff Helfrich. Helfrich, and the council, cause if the council wouldn't have agreed to get a lobbyist and us go out on a limb and us talk to people about that loan and how we were done wrong, I think we would still have that loan. So thank you guys for that. Also, I meet with our city administrator every week, and I do, sometimes we have to move it, sometimes depending on what's going on, but it's been really good for us because we didn't know each other. And we were kind of opposing, right, and when it first started out, so it was a little rough, and it's getting more comfortable, I feel like his shoulders are more relaxed and I can like drink a cup of coffee and we're getting there. But that's taken a meeting every week with him to get to where we are, so it's taken a lot of time. Also, the meeting with Maxine Dexter and other, like the other port officials and county officials that was down at the port, that was really nice. And one of the main takeaways that Maxine said that I really caught and heard is that she wanted us to know out here that Portland, because she represents Multnomah County, part of Clackamas County and Hood River County, but she wanted to make it very clear to us that Portland was not gonna suck up all the oxygen in the room, that she was not gonna forget us out here. So that I heard very clear from her. She's into nature and all that, I heard that, and then Tom Crawford, her assistant guy, he gave me his card, so I'll reach out to him and tell them thank you, but it's nice to make these networking connections, so I know who people are, and when I go into these meetings and stuff, I'm not like, ugh. But also I got to judge the Snack Hero Challenge. I was asked to go to the grade school and do the judge for the camp. So we had 3 groups of kids, between 4 to 6 kids in each group. And they've been learning all week about food, so they got all these different varieties of food: garlic, onion, Triscuits, cereal, bananas, peanut butter, strawberries. I mean, the list goes on. So they all made a dish for us to try. They had 3 judges, and it was really cute. You could really feel the energy in the room. They were so excited that we came and that they could do this for us, and it was a neat thing, just the energy in the room. And the lady that from the school district that makes the school lunch menu happened to be one of the judges, so she was able to ask the kids, you know, how can I get this on the menu at school? How would you want me to do this? And they were able to answer her and stuff, so it was really neat. And I will be leaving on Wednesday afternoon. That I will not be attending the PCT because the mayor's conference is in Baker City until Saturday night, so I will be going to that, so I will not be able to attend PCT or any of that, so otherwise I would be down there. And then National Night Out, I want to thank the port, the fire and EMS and the volunteers, because I do realize that they weren't supposed to be cooking all that. And I don't know what happened, I'll talk to Jeremiah about it on Wednesday at our meeting, but I really want to appreciate the port, the volunteers, the city, and everybody that stepped in to make sure that happened anyway, you know? And then, yard debris day, we got 11 trucks came for yard debris this time. And then I got you 8 or 9 surveys filled out. And then I wanted to talk with you guys about North Wasco Public Utility a little bit. I don't, whether we do engineering or what we do, I think if an elected official wants to sit in these meetings, we should be sitting in the meetings. Because the community is the one that's doing business with them, so. That kind of rubbed me wrong that they don't, like, they only want staff there. Because then they wanna know if we're on the same page, is the city administrator and the council on the same page? No, we're not on the same page. There's no secret that we're not on the same page, cause they were shocked that we're not on the same page, I wasn't. This council will never sign a blank check, like, we had no numbers, we had nothing to make a decision with. you know, so I would say more information. And then I am working, I took on the project as far as reaching out to artists, hopefully that are local, to give us a bid on murals for the bathroom. But before I go through all the time and energy of doing all this and wasting their time and our time, are we interested in getting murals painted in the bathroom? Yes or no? That way we either waste our time or we don't, cause I don't wanna get bids and everything and then council not wanna do it anyway. Go ahead, Pete.
I can't sign a blank check, Mayor. I'm totally into it, but I'd like to know how much it's gonna cost.
Yes, yes.
I have concerns. I don't know how it will stop graffiti. I don't wanna waste, I mean, I guess we can find out how much it'll cost and see. And do we have examples of other cities that have done that have?
Oxford Park evidently has done it, and I haven't went out to see if they get graffitied or not.
But Oxbow Park is not like, I mean, I don't know, it's not like a main city one either.
They get so much traffic.
Yeah, they do.
I think it's probably
Worse than that.
But I think it's probably comparable.
comparable, yeah, cause it's the ghost town in the winter, but then summers it's just jamming, I think it's probably very.
But don't you have to pay to get there?
Oh,
Yeah, she
There's
did.
probably
They
days,
just
yeah.
recently,
But we would get bids for it, nothing would go forward without bids and all that, but before we even do that, if you guys aren't interested. Cause we're probably looking at least $2 to $3 grand per bathroom, just roughly.
Here's my question, where are we getting the money?
I don't know.
There was money set aside in tourism for
Okay, second question is, the type of paint they use. And somebody comes in and graffitis it, can it be washed away?
They're making sure that, so far, the one bid that we have, they're local, so they, are aware of the traffic in our bathrooms and are willing to work around that without it taking a year to get done. They would use special paint for graffiti, so it's easier to get off and all that, but it's all detailed in the bid.
Okay, that's my question.
Okay.
I already have it. Okay, wait till
If I remember right, I wanna say it was during one of Janice's presentations where she said that there was a study done that showed that if there's mural on the inside of a bathroom or anywhere, that it gets less graffiti.
Less likely.
I didn't dive into that, but
Even a darker color, I don't know. But
I was just gonna say, we've done graffiti removal, my company, and I'll tell you, the hardest thing to remove is paint on paint. You know, cause it's like you take the paint off, it just takes the paint with it, so yeah, you're right, there's some. Stuff you can put over the top of the paint, there's special paints you can use that can make it really easy to remove, but it's still, if it's not taken care of real promptly, it's even more troublesome to remove. And I guess my preference would be to try to keep the cost low and beta test it by just doing like a really inexpensive mural to begin with to see, does it just get defaced? And then we could paint over it with something else,
Right.
but, you know, I think my preference would be to do the lowest cost option that's gonna look good, but I mean, I will tell you this weekend. There is a line all day long in those bathrooms, and it's just that, you know, as
and
far
it's
as.
sad to see the presentation.
It's the first thing that people see,
Yeah.
you know, when they come into our town, oftentimes is the bathroom, so I'm totally in favor of trying to do something to clean it up. Careful about not just spending $5,000 on something that we're just gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna get trashed.
We have found since locking the bathrooms at night that probably the graffiti and the vandalism has cut down easily by 80%. Easily by that, just by locking them at night, so that is
What's the status of the showers? No longer
No,
working?
Yeah, they're out.
they got vandalized.
Got it.
Everything gets vandalized in there, I mean, they gotta have padlocks on the paper towels.
Have we ever thought about using the blowers as much as I hate them
Yeah,
instead of paper towels?
yeah, cause that's
Get the
pretty,
blowers,
I've never explored it, but it's an option.
this is pretty nasty, I mean.
then you don't have to buy paper towels, you don't have as much trash. So I just
They're
think,
not going down the toilet.
yeah,
Yeah, some state bathrooms don't even offer trash anymore, because people don't dump it
they
there.
dump all their trash.
Their home garbage there and all that, so they've gotten rid of garbage cans.
I thought blowers would would
Find your drug.
take our costs down on the paper towels.
At least it gives some ideas.
What is your idea? What do you think? You haven't said.
I don't know, I look at the mural underneath the bridge and it hasn't been touched in years, and so. I mean, why haven't people been vandalizing that? And the state map at the school, like, why don't people vandalize that? And so that's where I was.
Right. All right, and that's all I had. That's that, and then we'll move on to executive session, if I can get a motion for ORS 1926602A. The employment of a public officer, employees or agents in other limited circumstances. So moved. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Alright, we are moving
Okay,
into.
hang on one second.
Can we take a couple minute break?
Yeah.
Stop it.
They turn on.
And yes, we don't want to turn on this.
Alright. Becoming water, you know?
Oh, I was just thinking about something, this.
Okay, better make sure that the guys. Wastewater treatment plant offer whenever they